Today, we are going to be dissecting a hibiscus flower. We're going to start with an examination of the outside of the flower. And on the outside, you can see that there are brightly colored petals, as well as these green sepals. The sepals are on the outside of the flower, and they protect the flower when it is a bud. And they protect it from insects and other diseases. It protects the flower while it's developing. This is a sepal. Okay, I'm going to take all the sepals off to make it a little easier to see the petals. Now the petals are brightly colored because the petals attract pollinators. And in this particular hibiscus, it is red. I'm going to take the petal off. This is the petal. And in order to see all the reproductive parts, I am going to remove all of the sepal as well as the petals, being careful to leave that center stalk because that contains the reproductive part of the flower. So I'm going to remove all of the petals, lots of petals on this one. Okay. Now, once I get close to the center, my petals, because they come from this center spot, might be a little fused. You might have to pull those off to get to the center reproductive space. Ooh. Okay. Now, here we have the reproductive part of the flower. You can kind of see a little bit of it peeled off, but down here, this is actually a combination of both the male and female parts of the reproductive parts of the flower. So in order to separate those, okay, we're gonna have to take a look. These are the filament and anther. They are the male part of the flower, and this is forming a sheet around the outside of the female part of the flower. So we're just going to use our scissors and we're going to try to open this part by taking off just a little bit of the ovary and seeing if we can't peel back this to reveal the female part of the flower. There it is. We're going to remove this outer sheet. The outer sheet is the male part of the flower. This is what we are looking for. This is the style. This is the female part of the flower. And we're removing the male part. This is the outer male part. Here we go. There's that male part. Let's see if we can't get this male part off. Now the stigma out here, this dark red colored area, that's the stigma. We don't want to pull on that because it's going to break. So we're going to try to do our best to just cut this off. You can just peel it back. Just peel it back. Slide through. We're opening this part and peeling it out. There we go. It's a little tricky, but it comes right out. Okay, now this is the male part of the flower, and this here, once we remove this last little bit, this is the female part of the flower. So this is the female part of the flower. This is the stigma. It is attracting pollinators. It's attracting pollen. This part is sticky. This is where the pollen is going to be attached. The pollen will travel down the pollen tube in the style. This is the style. Okay, to the ovary down here. The ovary is where egg production occurs. And if you open the ovary, you can actually see the eggs being produced inside. Okay. This is the ovule. The eggs, you can actually see them inside that ovary. So this is the ovary, and this is the ovule. This is where the egg production occurs. And I'd like you to take a look in the dissection microscopes so you can take a better look at these eggs, the ovum inside the ovule. You can see it a lot better if you use that dissection microscope. So these together, the style, the stigma, and the ovary, this is the female part of the flower, or the pistil. Now this is the male part of the flower. This sheet goes around the style as it develops, but really the male part of the flower is mostly here. So I'm just gonna take this part off, and this is the male part, the stamen. At the very top, you have tiny little anthers. These are anthers. They contain the pollen. And they are on these very, very, very fine, tiny little branches or sticks. This is the filament that holds up the anther for pollinators. Together, these two make the stamen. So those are the parts of the hibiscus flower.